FAA resumes normal launch operations after shutdown lifted the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration. FAA has ended restrictions on commercial rocket launches, restoring normal daytime operations at spaceports across the country. The temporary order, imposed during the recent government shutdown, limited launches to nighttime hours to minimize disruptions to air traffic control. With the shutdown resolved, the FAA has lifted the restrictions, allowing companies like SpaceX to resume their regular launch schedules. Shutdown-era restrictions explain the FAA implemented the order on November 10th as a contingency measure during the shutdown. With reduced staffing levels at air traffic control facilities, the agency sought to avoid airspace closures around launch sites in Florida, California, and the Delmarva region. By restricting launches to nighttime, the FAA aimed to reduce pressure on already strained air traffic management systems. Impact on commercial space companies: the restrictions primarily affected SpaceX, which conducts frequent launches of its Starlink satellites and other missions. While SpaceX was able to continue launching missions, it had to adjust its schedules to accommodate the nighttime-only requirement. The company successfully completed 4 after-hours launches during the week-long restriction, including 3 Starlink missions and the Sentinel-6B ocean mapping satellite. Exemptions and special cases: the FAA granted exemptions in certain cases. For example, NASA's Escapade Mars mission, launched on Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, received permission to launch during daylight hours on November 13th. This suggests that the FAA considered mission-critical launches on a case-by-case basis, prioritizing essential space programs. FAA's return to normal operations: the FAA officially ended the order on Monday, November 17th at 6:00 a.m. EST, 1100 GMT. FAA Administrator Brian Bedford stated that the decision reflects the improvement in staffing levels across the National Airspace System, NAS. With the government reopened, air traffic control facilities are now operating with sufficient personnel to manage both commercial launches and civilian air traffic without disruption. Why this matters: space industry dependence on FAA regulation. The incident highlights the space industry's reliance on FAA regulation. Commercial launch companies cannot operate without FAA approval, and government shutdowns can directly impact their ability to conduct business. The FAA's contingency order demonstrates its authority over airspace management and its willingness to adapt to unforeseen circumstances. The FAA's decision to lift the restrictions ensures the continuity of commercial space operations, allowing companies like SpaceX to maintain their launch cadence and continue expanding their space-based services. The incident underscores the importance of stable government funding and staffing for maintaining a functioning space industry.